With credit cards, you got to work the system. What I mean by that is if you take a cash advance for any reason whatsoever, you need to call them. You don't just walk up to an ATM and slide your Visa card in and take a cash advance. They're going to sting you like you have never been stung. They're going to charge you 18 to 21% interest. They're going to charge you a cash advance fee. And by the time you're all said and done, the actual cost of the use of that money is crazy. So instead what we do when we want to take a cash advance is we call the credit card issuing bank and we say, I'd like to extend this line of credit in the form of a cash advance. Can you please tell me how I could do that at the least possible cost to me? Is that hard to do? Nope. And then what they'll say is, well, if we can wire, transfer, ACH, direct deposit the money into your account, we'll waive the cash advance fee and we'll charge you the purchase rate of interest as opposed to the cash advance rate of interest. You guys know the difference between purchase and cash advance? Ooh, boy. It's big. So work the system. Don't let it work you. Late fees, unless you're habitually late, call them and say, no, I want that removed. Annual fees, take it off. Now, credit card companies have, over the last year or two, have gotten less negotiable. However, they still are. And if you get no for an answer, what should you do? Hang up, make a cup of coffee, call them back, and ask for someone else. How many of you have done that and gotten a different answer when you did? It's amazing. It's like, well, but then you're tempted to say, how come you were able to say yes and the person before you said no? That does not serve you. They might say, really? Hold on a minute. Let me check something here. I realize that you might not have enough credit cards to string together a bunch of lines of cash advances to buy a house in this market. I realize that. But you can certainly use your credit cards to fill gaps. Like in the case of a subject to deal, the seller says, I need $3,000 in moving money. If you give me that, you can have my house at the mortgage balance. Where do you get the $3 grand? There's a place to do it. Is that short-term money? You bet. You're going to turn around and sell that house on a lease option, take a deposit from your buyer, pay that off. So buying properties, if you live in a cheaper market, it's doable, and it depends on how many, what you've got in terms of lines of credit. I have, as far as working the system, I've been doing this for years. I've got all kinds of lines of credit. Every now and then, I'll get a letter saying, we've closed your account due to inactivity. All right, so what? I don't know. I'd have to look. I've got a file drawer, or a big file in one of my drawers where I think I've got about maybe, 20 or 25 lines of credit. And I use 2, generally. They're in my wallet, But the others I like to have just in case I need them. And so, and do you get those solicitations still where they'll say, we'll give you 0 interest if you open an account? Capital One's doing that. Or we'll charge you 0 or 1% if you pay off your other line of credit. They're still doing that. The challenge is to not let the system work you. Get your lines of credit extended. Call them and ask them, what can you extend my line to today without requiring any paperwork from me? I don't want to send you tax returns. Just tell me how much you can extend it without any of that. Waive the late fee. Waive the annual fee. Lower my rate. Who's ever called and asked to have the rate lowered and got it lowered? If you're not doing that, you are their poster child. And I'll tell you, people with bad credit generally tend to get hurt because they get the worst deal on everything. So if your credit's bad, it definitely is in your best interest to fix it. And the best way to do that is to get yourself a secured, perhaps, if it's really bad, secured line of credit. Use it, pay it back. Use it, pay it back. Use it, pay it back. And all of a sudden, Capital One puts you on their list. The best way to fix bad credit is to prove that you have it under control. Even if it means getting a secured line of credit where you got to put $500 in the bank to get a $500 credit line. And then the worst thing you can do with that now is leave it in your wallet and not use it and think, oh, I'm scared, I don't want to use it. When you go to dinner, use the credit card. Pay it back. Use the credit card. Pay it back. Only use your credit cards to buy property or pay for training. I'll tell you why I say that. There is nothing like the white-hot fire that the credit card bill will put to your backside to motivate you. I remember years ago, I went to Florida. I moved to Florida, and I went to a real estate training, and I ran to the back table and bought thousands of dollars worth of stuff. 2 or 3 weeks later, I don't know, a month later, I got the card bill, and I was like, whoa! And it was like a blowtorch to my backside. Very, very motivating. I personally do some of my best work under pressure. You ever heard that saying? Are you like that? Well, there's nothing like a credit card bill to make you feel like that.